So I think one of the worst positions that we can find ourselves in as women is needing to leave something or start something and not having the finances on hand to do that. And I made a few videos a couple of weeks ago, and one thing that I noticed consistently in the comments, particularly pertaining to the girlies who were saying that they needed to leave bad marriages or relationships, is that they did not have the money to do so. And if you are in that situation right now, or you just feel like this year is your time to get your finances and get your credit in order, I want you to sit it on down, because we're going to talk for a second and we're going to make a pact right now to do better. Now, I know that life happens because it happens for everyone. And at one point in time, it was happening for me too. And I think the best thing that we can do is to try and stay ready so we don't have to get ready. In other words, keep things in order so that we don't have to start trying to get things in order. And in particular, girlies, we're going to do better with managing our money. We're going to do better with managing our time. We're going to do better with saving. We're going to do better with building and keeping our credit good, because money cannot buy happiness, but it can definitely get you some freedom. It can help you get away from situations that are not good for you, and it can help you start new things. So let's talk about a few areas that a lot of ladies have discussed with me in the past pertaining to their finances that keep them trapped in not being able to save sufficiently. And the first thing, girlies, is we gotta stop overspending. Now, it is nice to have nice things. It's nice to go places that you want to go when you want to go to those places. But you got to start planning for these things, okay? If you like to vacation, if you like to shop, if you like to be able to do whatever you want to do, you need a budget in place and you need to allot finances for that. If you don't have a budget, girlies, I'm going to tell you the most basic, simple way for people who are not good with technology. Get your sheet of paper and your pen or your pencil. Write down how much money is coming in per month and how much money is going out per month. And what I've had some people realize is that they have more going out than what they have coming in. If that's you, girly, it is time to get that under control. Write all your bills down, every single thing that you pay. And if you're more up on technology, you can use some different softwares. But if you're not, that's no excuse not to know where your money is going. Write everything down. If your paydays and your pay amounts are pretty stable, you know how much you have coming in monthly. Do the math. What's left over after everything is paid? And I'm going to say this, and I know some people are going to say it's hard to do, but you should be paying yourself first. Start putting some money into savings. And I'm going to say, I don't care how big or how small, you need to be putting something away monthly for a rainy day, because it's not a matter of if, but when. We know a rainy day is going to come, and we can't always be in survival mode when it comes because we did not plan accordingly. If you see that you are spending over what you make, or I'm going to even say if you spending all of what you make, girlies, it's time to reassess some things, okay? You got to start asking yourself, do I need this or do I just want it? Look at your subscriptions and everything else. Are you door dashing all the time? Are you shopping all the time? Where is the money going and where can you cut back? Even if you make a lot of money, it does not mean you should spend every penny you make. And even if you feel like you don't make a lot of money, it's less sometimes of how much you actually make and more of how much am I spending? What are my expenses? Because there are some people who make a lot of money and they always broke. And there are some people who have a very modest income, yet they always have money because they do not overspend and they live below their means. I am one of those people that intentionally, as an entrepreneur for the past 14 and a half years, I made it my business to live below my means. And I'm going to say this, and it's real shocking to a lot of people when I tell them this, but I bought my condo, 16 years ago, back when we had the housing recession. And what I pay for my mortgage payment per month, these are prices that apartments used to cost way back in the day that everybody be like, I wish we had those prices again. Which leads me to another thing. Don't always miss opportunities to make moves. Had I not purchased, when I purchased, I would not be paying a mortgage that is so low. And it's very, very low, ladies. My mortgage payment is very low. My condo will be paid off in a few years. And that's another thing I'm going to say. If you're paying on a mortgage, pay extra towards that principal. Don't drag that mortgage out for 30 years because you're going to pay for that house 10 times over. We got to start being smarter with the moves that we make pertaining to money. I'm not saying don't live nicely. I'm saying don't always use all of your budget or exceed your budget to do so. So to recap, we're going to start budgeting. How much money is coming in? How much money is going out? Where can we cut so that we can start saving? And we're going to start paying ourselves first. The next thing you got to do, girlies, is get that credit in order. Credit is just the way of the world here in the US, unless you have cash. And sometimes you may not always want to use that cash that you have on hand. Now, I'm not saying run up a bunch of debt, but I'm saying make wise decisions. If you don't have credit, there are things that you can do to start establishing credit and good credit habits. And if you do have credit and you done maxed out those cards, girlies, I need you to sit down and make a plan to start paying that debt off. You can do the snowball method or any other method of your choice, but you need to start knocking that off, because sometimes when you look at your budget, you might realize that more than half of your money is being paid out to credit card payments. What would your finances look like if that debt was gone? And all debt is not bad debt, but some debt is holding you back from living a better life and being prepared to make moves or grasp opportunities when and if they come. Now, I don't like to give too much at one time. So you're going to take whichever part of this you need and you're going to start applying it. Get your budget in order. How much money is coming in? How much money is going out? Where can I make cuts? Start paying myself. Saving money. Next, get that credit in order. How much money am I spending monthly paying credit card bills? And how can I start knocking out some of this debt so that I have more cash on hand? Okay, let's just start there. And we're going to check in periodically, girlie, because I never want to see any girlie or anyone for that matter living a life of struggle because they are not making better decisions. When we know better, we got to do better, and it becomes our responsibility. You can't change everything at one time, but you can change something if you actually buckle down, focus, apply some discipline, and get started. And that's the main thing, getting started. Don't let this year pass you by and you make it to the end of the year and you in the same situation, but you know some things could have changed if you had done some things differently. Now, we're going to follow up in a couple of days and we're going to check back in. But if this is your word and any part of this you need to get rolling with, I want you to take it. I want you to receive it. I want you to apply it immediately and continue to be great.